for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey, 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 way down in the back.
TA, we are live Tuesday night, as always. Welcome into the Tigers Avenue show. Man, where to begin? So many things to discuss, so many things to talk about, Zach. Obviously, a few things tonight. We will look back at, oh gosh, do we have to? Oh gosh, we got to look back at the, do I even want to say a game that transpired on Saturday? Holy cow.
I don't know what that was.
If you did not think that LSU needed new leadership before Saturday night was a testament to how desperately LSU needs new leadership. My word. Yep. We will unfortunately recap what happened Saturday night in Death Valley. My goodness. What a night, Zach. Good night. Of course, Zach, we will talk about, for now the umpteenth week, the latest on Lane Kiffin. And by golly, Zach, next show I think we will have an answer. We will have a final answer as this thing seems to be winding down. Finally, obviously, we will discuss. Last time we left you off, the meeting was pending. All of those things. Lane Kiffin's latest comments certainly didn't seem positive for Ole Miss. Now there has been more statement from the athletic director. There's been more comments from Lane Kiffin, and all the things trending in a way that I think Tiger fans are certainly going to be thrilled with the answer. No guarantees. We'll talk about it here in just a few moments. And then again, Zach, dreadfully, we've got to preview one last LSU football game. Dear Lord, rescue us from this season. And please get us to February as fast as possible.
Hey, don't slack on baseball now. Come on now.
It's February baseball. That's what I said.
I know. Don't slack on basketball.
You said baseball. Basketball, yeah.
Did I say baseball?
Yes, you said.
That's because you were talking about February.
Right.
So I had baseball in mind. Don't slack on basketball.
Certainly not women's basketball. Certainly not that. But right now, Jay Johnson has my heart. And
of course.
I mean, like right now, he is our saving grace. Him and Kim Mulkey is LSU. We will say to be determined with Matt McMahon as still verdict to be out. I will say we will simply come on this show and we will say, here is what happened. We will not get excited. We will only say, here is what transpired with men's basketball. That is the only thing we will say with men's basketball. Here is what happened until conference play. Then we will, really start to cast our judgment. But they do play in like one of those little classic things this upcoming weekend, Zach, starting with Drake. So the competition steps up a little bit. Drake's a little bit better competition than what you've played. And then I don't know the field after that. I'd have to look it up. I don't know who else is in the Emerald Coast field. Maybe you could look that up real quick and we'll figure that out. But other than that, you're playing Drake, then you'll play other folks. We'll finish up the show with a little preview on the LSU-Oklahoma game. So, with that being said, Saturday night. I don't know how many of y'all stayed the entire length of that game. and endured that game. Quick little touch on that, and Zach, I'll let you break it down. But man, here's the final score is indicative of just how boring and abysmal this game really was. It was 13-10 LSU against Western Kentucky. Okay? Western Kentucky. Zach, let me let you in on a little bit of, a little knowledge here. LSU was able to mount 126 yards rushing against Western Kentucky. Earlier in the season, Toledo was able to rush for 300 yards against Western Kentucky. And LSU was not even able to get half of that. Toledo was able to rush for 300 yards. LSU did not touch 150.
Yeah.
This offense is abysmal, Zach. It is abysmal. And, I've been seeing people say this. I think it is an indictment on Brian Kelly, which he's not coaching right now. However, this is the roster that he put together, him and Austin Thomas.
It's also the staff he put together.
And the staff he put together. That's correct. That as well. That in his 4 years as the head coach, you can say that Brian Kelly coached one of the absolute worst defenses in LSU history, statistically, the absolute worst special teams unit in LSU history, and now one of the most abysmal and anemic offenses in LSU history.
It's the worst in LSU history. You can go ahead and say it.
In 4 years. By the way, Zach, you're not scoring 25 points on Saturday. The only team that you were able to accomplish scoring more than 25 points against this season was an FCS school. Never, I don't think it's like you have never scored 25 points against an FBS opponent this entire season. Never. I mean, it's horrendous, and you're not going to. You're playing the best defense in the SEC on Saturday. Well, let me not get ahead of myself. That's for the preview. You could not muster 20 points against Western Kentucky, which is one of the worst defenses in Conference USA. They are in the 100s for all defensive categories.
This offense makes every defense look like they're elite.
This offense is horrendous. For everybody who thought Michael Van Buren was going to be the saving grace, he is not. The issue is you have a bad offense, period. Your offense is
bad scheme, terrible
bad
offensive
play
line.
calling, bad offensive line play, bad decision making, bad everything. Everything. The only bright spot to me in this offense this year has been Trey'Dez Green and Harlem Berry. That's it.
Braylon Morris. I think Braylon Morris been a little bit of a bright spot.
I guess. I mean, he's been your steady hand. He's not been.
I think Kyle Parker's had moments.
Moments, yes. But Harlem Berry is a freshman, doing these things. Kyle Parker, I get as a sophomore. He's come back from injury. But golly, dog.
The talent's there. The talent's definitely there.
There has never been a more obvious time and need for new leadership to totally redo this offense, totally restructure it. I mean, personnel, you need new personnel, certainly along the offensive line, certainly at the quarterback position. I think you have guys in the stable with Caden Durham and Harlem Berry and guys in the receiving room that can definitely do great things. But the things that are most important, your offensive line and your quarterback, are at their absolute worst. Like, they're just not good, especially along the offensive line. I mean, you had multiple turnovers. Your defense got you multiple turnovers in the game, and you were only able to muster one touchdown against Western Kentucky. One.
Yeah.
Zach, you kicked a field goal from the 1 yard line against Western Kentucky
Because you couldn't punch it in from the 1.
because you did not have the faith that you could punch it in from the 1. The play calling, unreal. I mean, holy cow! How many times are we going to throw screens and expect them to do anything? But then again, do we really trust our offensive line to drop back? I don't know. Why don't we create some quick routes in front of the line of scrimmage instead of the quick routes behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
Zach, it's bad. It's all around bad. Man.
Well, as Ryan with his new profile says, even in the darkness, God is always by our side.
Amen.
The light is always at the end of the tunnel of the train. If you get my
tunnel of the train, yes, we get your drift. And Ryan, thank you. We like, man, the new profile picture, new handle there. We want Kiffin. Hey,
I figured it was Ryan when I saw the new handle. When I saw this handle popping up on X and YouTube, I was like, this got to be Ryan. Glad Ryan's in here. Dad's also in here. So yeah. So he says, what's worse, this offense or the 2023 defense? This offense. Yeah.
God, could you imagine having both of them together?
You wouldn't win a game.
Man, I don't know, Zach. I don't know. The 23 defense was, you went and scored 49 points in Oxford and still lost. But then again, you just put up one touchdown against Western Kentucky. So I don't know. They're both.
I mean, what was your record that year? You went what, 9-10-4?
That's true. That's true.
And you're on the verge of going 7-5. So
that's true. It's true.
You won 10 games that year with that defense.
Well,
and it always seemed like they, like in big games when it was close, like the games you won, they got stops when they had, like they absolutely had to. They did.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, think about like the Missouri game, like obviously the Ole Miss game, like they didn't get stops, but
that's right.
Like the Missouri game, they got stops when they absolutely had to.
Yeah.
I can't recall one moment this year when the offense has scored when they absolutely had to.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I say this offense is worse, and it may just be a prisoner of the moment, but I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not arguing with that. I think there's a very good case it's worse. I mean, golly dog, after Saturday night. Anyways, well,
you won the coin toss.
Yeah, whip-de-doo. Zach, look at the first quarter. The first quarter, Western Kentucky opens up the game with a great drive. Thankfully, your defense bows its neck and holds them to a field goal because they started off on great. But after that, LSU punt, Western Kentucky punt, LSU punt, Western Kentucky punt. Start of the second quarter, LSU interception, Western Kentucky turnover on downs, LSU turnover on downs, Western Kentucky turnover on downs. Holy cow.
Your defense was really good.
Your defense was what it's always been. A solid defense, an excellent defense. But what a horrendous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 series in a row for LSU and Western Kentucky with a punt or a turnover. 8 in a row. Wow.
Oh my gosh, Harlan Berry had 80 yards.
Yeah. 9 alive. I mean, just do we even really have to go through all this? Finally,
no, we don't.
Finally, LSU musters a touchdown, 8 plays, 62 yards in the second quarter. Michael Van Buren throws a touchdown pass to, you guessed it, Trey'Dez Green. Trey'Dez Green scores the touchdown to get the Tigers up. Western Kentucky punts. LSU punts into the half. LSU opens the third quarter punt. Western Kentucky punt. LSU punt. Western Kentucky interception. And LSU's only able, on a turnover, Zach, to muster how many points?
3.
3 points. Not a touchdown. A field goal.
They threw another interception the next drive.
I was like, I'd say the very next drive, Western Kentucky interception, and you punt. And then Western Kentucky punts again. It was just horrendous. I mean, it was a horrendous night offensively. You literally could not get more anemic. You mustered a little bit in the opening drive of the fourth quarter, got a field goal. It wasn't an amazing drive. 10 plays, 40 yards. That's 4 yards a play. You kind of etched down there to get in field goal range. And yeah, that was it for LSU. Then it was Western Kentucky punt, LSU punt, Western Kentucky punt, turnover. Golly, dog. LSU turnover on downs. Western Kentucky turnover on downs. I mean, just a horrendous game on both sides, but more so for LSU because Western Kentucky's not that great of a team. Then, to put the cherry on top, you're trying to ice the game away, 13-3, and you fumble the ball and they scoop and score to make it 13-10.
What an awful
just to make it a little bit interesting, Zach, you had to watch an onside kick. Thankfully, LSU recovers, kneels the ball, and the misery was over. Wow. It was horrible in every sense of the word, every adjective. That was the worst game, Zach. Was there a worse game?
No.
Like entire game? Some may say the A&M game, but I feel like the first half of the A&M game was good. That entire game
was awful.
Terrible.
Absolutely awful. And anybody that was wondering if Frank Wilson will get the head coaching spot, no. Yeah. It's really bad. Reagan, the good news is that you were looking for a new head coach. And you should know by Christmas who your new head coach is. So Merry Christmas. And 'tis the season. Reagan, have you ever seen
by Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll know by Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So by Christmas, you'll be, this time next month, you're gonna know who your next head coach is, and
well, hopefully you'll know sooner than that.
Hopefully you will know sooner than that. I'm just saying though, in a month,
yes,
you're gonna know.
You will be guaranteed. Yes.
So 'tis the season, Reagan. Have you ever seen Polar Express?
Well, of course.
So, in the movie, Reagan.
Yes.
It's this magical train that this kid gets on. And throughout the movie, it has some scary moments, some dangerous moments.
Sure.
But ultimately, it ends with joy, jubilation, and magic.
Yes.
And that's what LSU fans are on right now. They're on, instead of the Polar Express, they're on the Kiffin Express.
Kiffin Express.
And we have hopped on this train ride. 'Tis the season.
I need some hot chocolate to go along with this ride because it's been a wild one.
We have hopped on this train ride, and we've grabbed our hot cup of Joe.
Yes.
And it's a little scary
Yes.
And it could be dangerous because we've been on this ride before. Not specifically the Kiffin Express, but we've been on the Herman Express and we've been on the Riley Express.
Yes.
And it ultimately ended in disaster.
It derailed. It derailed.
It derailed. So we're all holding our cup of hot chocolate tightly, hoping that this train ride will go smoothly.
Yep.
And that the Kiffin Express will be able to arrive at its final destination in Baton Rouge.
That's right.
Where we can enjoy the magic and the elation of reaching the North Pole, or in this case, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So yeah, Reagan, I hope you enjoyed that. 'Tis the season.
Yes.
And yeah, we've all decided that we're going to hop on this Kiffin Express and go for a ride. And Reagan, I don't know if you saw about maybe 2 hours ago.
Yep.
Ross Dellinger released an article with an update on
interesting details.
Some very interesting details regarding Kiffin's decision.
Yes.
And oh gosh, I had it pulled up.
Go to our text thread. I screenshotted and highlighted the most.
Thank you. I had it pulled up on X. Okay, there we go. Thank you. You are amazing. So this is what part of the article says. Okay. Kiffin represents the biggest domino in what's expected to be a historically busy coaching style. While his decision has been made to involve 3 places, Ole Miss, LSU, and Florida, signs continue to point toward one of those destinations. And then he clarifies. Florida officials have started to pursue other candidates, despite Florida's delusions. And Ole Miss administrators have begun to reach out to potential replacement candidates. 2 signals of Kiffin's possible intent. In Baton Rouge, things are very quiet as the program readies a multi-million-dollar offer for the head coach. If or when Kiffin leaves, the dominoes will really begin to tumble. So Reagan, yeah, the Kiffin hype has picked up. The Kiffin Express has taken off, and I got to be honest, I'm nervous. Having the PTSD that we do with Tom Herman and Lincoln Riley, as mentioned in my wonderful dialogue there.
Yes.
And so, yeah, there's been moments where throughout this week, ever since Friday, I have felt confident and, prideful that LSU is about to land the most coveted coach in this during this coaching carousel.
Yes.
And then there's also been moments where I have been doubtful and worried and scared.
Rightfully so.
That this may not get to the finish line. So, Reagan, with all that said, I'll shut up now on my Kiffin Express banter. So, give us your opinion, Reagan, everything you've heard, everything you've seen on the latest Kiffin chaos.
Well, since our last show, there's been some pretty major developments. Obviously, the meeting happened with Keith Carter and Chancellor Boyce and Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin said a couple weeks ago there's no ultimatum, but like we said on the show, you can call it whatever you want. Ultimatum, clarity, whatever. They wanted some finality or direction on what Kiffin was doing. Well, the meeting happened, and Keith Carter releases a statement, and obviously the most important part of that statement was that there would be a decision announced after the Egg Bowl, which, Zach, I'll be honest with you, when you hear that, your immediate response is what? He's gone, right? If he were staying, if he were staying, they would have just said, praise God, he's staying. He's signed an extension. Playoffs are on the line. Let's win the Egg Bowl. Let's beat our arch nemesis in the state to solidify our spot and host a playoff game here in Oxford. Biggest sporting event in Mississippi sports history. Let's do it. Let's ride. He signed the extension. But that's not what they said. Instead, they said, well, there's going to be an announcement about his future after the Egg Bowl. And everyone goes, really? And then Monday rolls around, and Lane Kiffin has his presser with Ole Miss media, and he gives his opening statement and remarks and concludes it with, I will really only answer questions about this team, this game, this season. And while I will give credit to Ole Miss reporters, they asked the hard questions, and some of them asked questions in a very clever way to try and get answers. One of them, like one of the first questions off rip was like, you're 2 wins away from being the winningest coach in Ole Miss football history, topping Johnny Vaught. 2 wins away, Lane Kiffin. What does that mean for you, and will you get there? You know, something like along those lines. Very clever way. Props to that guy for asking that question, because that was a brilliant question.
Brilliant. And it's relating to the season.
Yes, absolutely. And so he obviously answered that, and the legacy and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, I don't know the history as much as others. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool, blah, blah, blah. You know, anyways. And then, of course, there were other folks who asked more pointed questions, about the meeting with Keith Carter, about his decision, about has your past experiences with this affecting your decision now? Has it all those things. And, there were 2 times he was like, that's a fair question, but I'm not answering it. And then there was the third one, and the most probably pointed question, and I think a very fair question, of course, again, when he was asked, Keith Carter has said there's a decision going to be announced after the Egg Bowl. And he says, for clarification, has that decision already been made, or is that decision still in the process of being made? And that is when Lane Kiffin seemed to get perturbed and was like, well, that's the third one y'all have asked. You can keep asking, but I'm not going to answer. Almost went like full, Nick Saban. Y'all keep asking me about this, but I ain't asking, so quit asking, right? Like that whole ordeal with Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, I like both the guys, and y'all want me to pick one, but I'm not going to, so quit asking, right? Like that was what Lane Kiffin, like, you keep asking, but I'm not going to answer. And it just feels so obvious.
So
Zach.
Quit asking.
Right. It felt so obvious that he was uncomfortable being asked those questions. He's avoiding the questions entirely. Zach, it feels like he's leaving. It just really, really feels like he's leaving. And Zach, it seems like all signs are pointing that LSU is the favorite. It's no secret now. There's been several people report this, that Kiffin has sought the advice of guys like Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and, of course, his agent, Jimmy Sexton. And all of them are telling him to take the LSU job. And I think that's why he's headed to LSU. Guys like Nick Saban and Kirby Smart have said the LSU job's a better job. And truth be told, it is a better job. It's a better job than Florida for many reasons that a lot of you guys already know why. Obviously, LSU being the only P4 in the state, talent-rich state, things like that, right? The history, national champions already. It's a better job. It just is. And it seems like that's where he's headed. And, of course, with Ross Dellinger putting out his statements, it really seems like that's the direction it's headed. Zach, I would say this, and I said this to y'all on one of our threads with Brock, and it's like at this point, if he were to say, I want to come back, I think he's too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's done so much damage with the fan base, and I even think with Ole Miss leadership, that I don't know if he can walk it back. Like, if your plan this whole time was to just go, oh, psych, I'm coming back, it's gone way too far. It's gone way too far. Like, this is far beyond normal Lane Kiffin, like, antics, in years past with Ole Miss. This is, like, to the point where Ole Miss is ready for him to be gone. Like, to the point where they may not want him to coach the Egg Bowl. Where people have expressed that opinion, we don't even want him coaching the Egg Bowl. So it feels like it's too far gone. In my opinion, even if he was to say something like, well, you know what, I'm going to stay. If he were to do that, I think Ole Miss would take him back, but I feel like there'd be a lot of trust he would have to earn. And I think there's a lot of leadership that's ready to move on and are starting to move on. So it's kind of like, if you're not committed to being here, then we're just done with you, right? Like, it's caused so much problems, it's caused so much strife, that it feels too far gone, and it feels evident, Zach, that he's leaving. And I think LSU has separated themselves. That's my thoughts on it recently.
Yeah, well, we'll certainly see, Reagan. Yeah, and to your point about the psyching people out, we obviously know that Lane is a troll. He loves to troll on social media. But to troll with this situation
to this extent,
I just don't see it. I don't think you're flying your family out to Gainesville and Baton Rouge. I don't think you're intentionally not signing a contract. I don't think all these things just for a troll job.
Yeah.
If you are, I mean, congrats. You've trolled us all. But you've also made a lot of Ole Miss fans really mad at you.
Totally lost your fan base.
You've also, just made yourself more hated by, Florida fans and LSU fans. If you did that, I just don't see that, right? I just really don't. So it seems like it's going to LSU, Reagan. And it feels like the fan base is kind of ready to be there, to be to that at that point, where it's like, okay, look, if you're not going to be with us, then you're not with us. So yeah, Ole Miss is probably going to beat Mississippi State on Friday, and then on Saturday we're going to find out that Lane Kiffin's leaving. Where will he go? That's the biggest question. I mean, that's what I think everybody foresees right now. That could change. It could definitely change. And is it LSU? Is it Florida? I don't know. You've got some big talking heads in Baton Rouge, and there's some big talking heads that kind of have some differences in where they see things. I'm not going to mention names, but you've got, one big talking head that feels confident that LSU and Kiffin is all but a done deal. And then you've got other big talking heads, one specifically that is like really is torn between him going to Florida or LSU, like fully believes it's a coin flip between those two. So, but I mean, we're honestly, we can speculate all we want and nobody's going to know. I mean, unless somebody like Ross breaks news before Saturday, then nobody's going to know what the real decision is until we see the official news, probably on Saturday. And I think that's where we're headed. I think we're going to find out on Saturday. So,
Well,
by the time LSU is playing Oklahoma on Saturday, it's possible. I don't want to say very possible, but it's possible that you know who your next head football coach is going to be.
Yeah.
And then it's also, you're going to make a bowl, and wherever bowl you go, that coach is very likely going to be in the studio watching you play the bowl game, watching his new team play the bowl game, the LSU Tigers. And so, we saw that with Brian Kelly, whenever LSU was playing Kansas State and, with
the Texas Bowl.
In the Texas Bowl.
When we had like 30 scholarship players.
Yeah. That was, of course, Brian Kelly was had Notre Dame on the verge of making the playoffs. They ultimately didn't. He took the job, didn't coach the bowl game for Notre Dame. And, he was there in the bowl game for the LSU game. So that's likely where this is headed. If it is Lane Kiffin. Kiffin. I don't think we've talked about it a lot. I just don't think he's going to coach the playoffs. I think he will fight for that.
Yeah.
I think he will fight to. And I'll be honest, Reagan, I know Ole Miss fans probably differ with this, but Kiffin is the reason you are where you are. And I don't think you can deny that as an Ole Miss fan. You just can't. You can't logically deny that Kiffin has brought you to where you are. And despite the feeling of betrayal and the feeling of being backstabbed, do you not feel like he has deserved this opportunity with everything that he's done for Ole Miss, with everything where he's gotten Ole Miss to be? Do you not feel like he deserves the opportunity to coach this team through the playoffs? I would say yes. I think he deserves that opportunity. Now, ultimately, from what obviously we know and from what we feel, it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
No.
I just don't think that's right. I understand the reasoning for Ole Miss, but as I said in the last episode, Reagan, you can have him coached out the rest of the season and start moving forward, right?
Yeah.
You can come out with a statement on Saturday that Lane Kiffin will no longer be the head coach following the season, but he will continue his duties as head coach until the conclusion of this season. And I don't think there's a problem. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that'd be a good thing. Ole Miss to be, if Ole Miss wants to go and win a national championship this year, you want Lane Kiffin on the sideline. There's a reason that he is the top name in the coaching carousel right now. And that's because he's a good coach, right? Regardless of what you think about him on social media, regardless of what you think about him as a man, when you're just looking at coaching college football, he is a good coach. And if I'm Ole Miss, I want him on the sideline. If this is going to be the last hoorah, right? Almost like Michael Jordan and the Bulls in 90, was it 98? 96?
No, he won in 96 and 97, pretty sure. So
I think it was I can't remember let me look it up. Anyways, it's The Last Dance. Everybody's seen that documentary. It's The Last Dance. Treat it like The Last Dance. Hey, we know this is not going to happen, right? You saw all the success that the Bulls were having, and thank you, 98. I knew it was in there somewhere. 98. They said, hey, look, we know that this team is not going to be together at the end of the year. We know that our coach is going to be no longer coaching the Bulls at the end of this year. Let's go and win this thing. That should be the mentality of Ole Miss. That should be the mentality. Hey, this coach has gotten us to where, and I get it. It's a different situation. Like obviously that was a completely different situation. The coach wasn't trying to leave. Right. That was the organization trying to push him out. But the mentality should be the same, Reagan. Hey, we know the coach is not going to be with us next year. We know that this is not going to be, some of the guys on this roster are not going to be with us next year, whether it's graduation, NFL, or, transfer, whatever it may be. The guys that leave this team, this is the last dance. Let's treat this like the last dance for this team, and let's go win a national championship. That should be the mentality. It should be. Well, but unfortunately, it's gotten to too much of a toxic point that's probably not going to be the reality.
Right. And it's also not really his fault. Like, Nick Saban obviously made a great point about this on college football. We've talked about this a lot, Zach. Like, it's not Kiffin's fault that this decision is having to be made before the playoffs. It's not. Like, if the college football calendar were different, this would not be happening right now. Lane Kiffin would be coaching to the end of the season, through the playoffs, and then would take another job. And it wouldn't be this ugly. It wouldn't be this nasty. Kiffin wants to coach this team through the playoffs. But Ole Miss is not able to allow him to do that if he's going to leave. Because if they allow him to coach through the playoffs without starting their coaching search, they're way behind. They're going to miss out.
But they can, Reagan. They can start their coaching search while he's still the coach.
They can, but they cannot officially offer their job to anyone while there is a sitting head coach. They cannot officially offer. There could be like verbal agreements and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. But a team like Auburn can go, okay, that's fine. Sign our deal right now. That's the problem. Is there's candidates that Ole Miss wants to get in on where other teams are not going to be in the situation that Ole Miss is, that they can get him in a, like Auburn, can get Summerall in a binding deal, whereas Ole Miss can just have a verbal agreement.
Is LSU not in that right now?
What do you mean?
Is LSU not in the spot that Ole Miss would be in right now? Because LSU, right, had not formally fired Brian Kelly.
Yeah, but they have at this point. They have
now.
Right. But like,
but previously they had not, and they had already gotten in on Lane.
You said what now?
I said, but previously they had not.
Yeah.
And they're already got in on Lane.
Yeah, but LSU's just trying to get out of the buyout. That's not for real. Like, we all know Brian Kelly's not being fired because of some kind of misconduct. He was fired because his performance on the field was garbage. And now they don't want to pay the buyout. Like, that's obvious.
Okay, but regardless, Ole Miss could do the same. Hey, Lane's leaving. Lane, like, he's gone. He's not going to be the coach next year.
Yes, right.
So come be our next head coach.
Again, it's verbal. It's I'm telling you, the reason Ole Miss is doing this is because they're going to want a sealed, signed, delivered deal done with a new coach. Auburn, right. Auburn can give that to them, or Florida can give that to whoever, or Penn State, or Arkansas, or whoever Ole Miss wants. Ole Miss can't give them a binding deal. So they would be behind, and they would be behind with portal. They would be behind with National Signing Day, all of those things. So, again, the point is still the same. This is not Kiffin's fault. It's a calendar problem. Ole Miss, it's not Kiffin's decision not to coach the playoffs. Kiffin wants to coach the playoffs. Yeah. He wants to finish this team. He wants to see it through. But he can't, like, Ole Miss is not letting him. It's Ole Miss's decision. So they're really mad at him, and they're frustrated at him because he's strung this along. What else do you want the guy to do? Like, do you just want him to come out and say, I'm leaving before the regular season's even over with? Like, that's crazy. They've had to string this along and kind of PR play this because everybody knows he's leaving.
Well, Reagan, then what do you think they're going to do? What are they going to announce then on Saturday?
That he's leaving.
So what does that mean? Does that mean he's still the head coach? Does that mean he's terminated? Does that mean they're parting
obviously
ways?
He wouldn't be terminated. He'd be gone, and so they can formally offer the job to and have a binding deal with like someone like John Summerall when he announces.
I'm talking about contractually.
Well, contractually, he's going to come sign a deal with LSU. LSU is going to pay the $3 million to get him out of his contract with Ole Miss, and they can offer him a deal.
So
you're Summerall a deal.
So you're saying what you believe then is on Saturday that they're going to announce he's leaving, and on that same day he's going to have signed a deal.
I mean, I don't know if literally they're signing a deal. What my point is, Ole Miss, if Lane Kiffin is still their coach, cannot have a binding signed contract with a new coach. They can't. They can't. Lane Kiffin has to accept another job, sign a new contract, and be out of that before Ole Miss can say, here's our contract, this is what we're doing, and have a new coach sign that contract. That's what I'm saying. So
I get that.
Again, Ole Miss can't, if Lane Kiffin decides to coach through the playoffs, offer a coach officially, like signed. Yes. Can they offer it to him verbally? Yes, they can. Can they have a verbal agreement? Yes, they can. But other schools who are after a coach like John Summerall are going to say, that's fine. You can't sign the deal over there. Come sign our deal. Here's our deal. And Ole Miss, all they can have is just a verbal agreement. So they can't guarantee at all that John Summerall's going to be their coach. They can't guarantee it because he hasn't signed anything.
But Ole Miss can tell them to wait.
If John Summerall is willing to wait, yes. If he is. But if he signs the deal with Auburn, then he's gone.
A smart agent would tell him to wait.
I get all that. I'm just telling you from Ole Miss's leadership perspective, they cannot have a binding deal with a new coach until Lane Kiffin's gone, and that's why they're not letting him coach the playoffs. Because they have to have a new coach before the playoffs is over. That's why everybody's hiring new coaches before the playoffs.
But I understand that too. I completely get what you're saying. But what's best for Ole Miss? Okay,
I agree. No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I know, but
I'm just saying that's where Ole Miss's leadership is.
Okay, but let me make my point real quick. What's best for Ole Miss, not only during the playoffs, but also for the future. Okay, and I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and you are correct. But what's better for Ole Miss? Having Lane Kiffin coach through the playoffs, and having a head coach, a sitting head coach or coordinator, whoever you're going after, that is willing to wait to hear you out. Or, because my point is, if I'm Ole Miss, do I want somebody who's not willing to wait for me?
Right.
That'd be my point. I don't want to go after somebody that's not willing to wait for me and willing to hear me out, and whose agent is going to just pass on us because they're like, that's my point. Best case scenario, if I'm Ole Miss, I want Lane Kiffin to coach to the playoffs, and I'll settle finding the next head coach because I'm Ole Miss. I've had the success. Somebody should be willing to, if we're going to find the next head coach and it's not Lane Kiffin, somebody, whoever the next guy is, should be willing to wait to hear us out and for us to be able to come into the conversation, to come to the table, to bring them to the table.
Yes.
That's my point.
And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I'm not arguing that Ole Miss should be kicking him out before the playoffs. I totally agree with what you're saying. I think they should be letting him coach the playoffs. I think that would be the smart thing to do. So I'm not arguing against that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying,
your point is just saying that's why. This is
why Ole Miss is doing this.
Yes.
It's because Ole Miss wants to guarantee, like signed contract guarantee, they have a coach, not a verbal commitment. Yeah. Because then somebody can say, that's fine, come sign ours, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can have a shake hand deal all you want, but
I don't think
why Ole Miss is doing that. I'm not saying I agree with it. Yeah. But that's why they're doing that.
I don't think we're disagreeing. I think you're stating the reality of where Ole Miss is at.
Exactly.
And I'm stating where they should be. Right.
Right. Correct.
Where they need to be.
That's correct. I was never arguing for them. I'm just saying that this is the reality of what they're doing. I think it's dumb. Like, You have a possible national championship run. Let the guy coach through. Like
you want an interim, yeah, exactly. You want an interim head
Joe
coach.
Judge to go lead the playoffs. Like
he hasn't been the head coach the entire. Yes, he's got head coaching experience. Duh, he hasn't been your head coach.
Yeah, they're just not letting him though. I think they should. They're not letting him though because I think they want to get a coach sooner rather than later.
And I understand. And I think that's a mistake on both ways. I think that's a mistake on the Lane Kiffin side of things. I think that's a mistake. Well, not on his because he's obviously wanting, but I'm saying I think that's a mistake because you're screwing over your players, your fan base by not having him on the sideline, and obviously Lane Kiffin. But you're also, I think, and obviously you're screwing over yourself because I mean, if you want to go win a national championship, your best opportunity is to go to let Lane Kiffin coach the playoffs. And if you're worried about the next coach, I don't want the next coach to just pass us up. I want the next coach to want to sit at the table with us and have a conversation and wait for us until this season's over.
Yeah. And I also,
but here's the big
made
point.
It clear they would wait.
Here's the big point, Reagan. To contradict my own point,
sure.
that I've been making. They want to be able. My other opinion is not just the contract to be able to say, hey, we have it signed right now. You can sign it right now. But the other point that I want to make is obviously Ole Miss is also dealing with the same issue that any other team that's without a coach right now is dealing with, which means the early signing period and the early transfer portal period, right? Ole Miss also has to worry about that.
Yep.
So like that specifically would be my holdup if I'm Ole Miss, not the contract, right? And again, I understand your point. I know what you're saying. But if I'm Ole Miss, that would not be my concern. My concern would be we got to get a guy. We got to get a guy in here so that we can tell these recruits and these guys that are in the transfer portal who our next guy is going to be. That'd be my concern.
Sure. But either way, Ole Miss. It's very clear that they've already decided they're not letting him coach the playoffs. I mean, that's just it is what it is. That's what they've decided. If he's leaving, he's not coaching them. I don't agree. Again, it's not a lane. It's not a lane problem. It is a calendar problem.
Well, the fans are going to say it's a lane problem, but that's
right. But it's gotten all drummed up, and they're all saying like, "Oh, here goes same old lane again." But it's not. Like you're just painting it that way when really he's being forced. His hand is being forced because of the calendar. So I don't think it's like Nick Saban said, it's not a Lane Kiffin issue. It's a college football calendar issue, which needs to be adjusted. Why is early signing period like in the middle of postseason? Why is the new portal window like in the middle of the playoffs? Like, don't you think playoff teams want to be in on the portal too?
Exactly. And
you're making coaches balance both of those.
Yeah. And also, I want to make a quick statement. Joel Klatt, dude, that coming out and saying Lane Kiffin loses credibility during this, dude, get out of here, man. Get out of here, dude.
I don't listen to anything Joel Klatt says. He's a Big Ten pumper, so I don't.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to hear that, man. Yeah, First off, I don't agree with it. Because again, as you've been saying, Reagan, if the calendar's different, he's not coming out and saying that.
No, this isn't an issue.
If the calendar's different, he is not saying jack about Lane's credibility. And guess what? If Lane, hypothetically, if Lane comes to LSU and the calendar does change, it's going to be a lot smoother transition for all these, for when the coaching carousel comes open. So yeah, Reagan, we've gone a long time, but some good conversation. We probably need to take a break. Do you have anything else on Lane Kiffin conversation?
No, I mean, we pretty much said everything, but I mean, man, what a crazy few weeks it's been. This has been one of the. I thought the last coaching search was wild.
This one was more. This one
has been insane, and you still, Zach, have so many. Like, yeah, Kiffin's domino is going to fall, but once Kiffin's domino falls, Zach, then you have Ole Miss, Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, all still open.
Yeah, and
Auburn. I missed Auburn.
Things could get really crazy, Reagan, if the DeBoer stuff is true, which I don't really believe that, or even if the Sark stuff's true. Things could get really crazy. Can you imagine if Texas and Alabama open? It's a good thing that I will say this. It is a good thing that Ole Miss is pushing this situation.
Yes,
because
for our sakes,
for LSU's sake, because if by some chance Alabama, which I don't think they are, but if by some chance Alabama and Texas came open, LSU, do you want to be in on the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes against Bama and Texas? Because let me tell you something. You're going to lose that one.
Yeah.
You're going to lose that one. So, yeah. The timing, although I don't agree with how Ole Miss is handling the situation, the timing works out for LSU if indeed it is LSU where Lane Kiffin lands.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll hit a quick break real quick, and we'll briefly discuss.
We got to get some comments. Get to the comments too after this.
And we'll give you a little preview on LSU Oklahoma right after this.
5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
Stop by to try Fulton's newest drive-through coffee shop, The Well Coffee Co. for all of your coffee needs. Iced, hot, blended, however you like your coffee, we got it. You don't like coffee? Try one of our Red Bull infusions. Maybe you want something else? Try a smoothie of different flavors as well. We'd love to see you at The Well Coffee Co. Monday through Friday right now, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Well Coffee Co., John 4:14.
Right back at it here in the Tigers Avenue show, Zach. A little bit of breaking news.
Oh,
Ross Dellinger, not in relation to LSU or Kiffin, but in relation to coaching carousel. The Missouri Board of Curators are meeting on Wednesday to try and authorize a new proposed contract for Eli Drinkwitz. Seems like Missouri's trying to seal Drinkwitz for the foreseeable future. That was 2 minutes ago. Ross Dellinger. So again, this coaching carousel is moving quickly. Teams want to keep their coaches. Other teams want your coaches. So it's either sign an extension or go to a new school. And it seems like Missouri's trying to get that extension on Drinkwitz's table. All right, hey Zach, let's get to a couple comments here. I know there's folks in here commenting.
Yeah, we have got a ton of, which, by the way, we've got great viewership tonight. So hey, all y'all that are watching on X, be sure to comment if you need to hop on over to YouTube or Facebook to do so. Please do so. We want to get to y'all's comments, and even if it means we got to stay a little bit later or do it at the end of the show, we will do that. All right. So appreciate it, Ryan. Always like, share, subscribe, add, and multiply. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
Dad is in here with us yet again. He says, "Make Juice Kiffin the new dog for Raising Canes."
I have not even thought about that. Can you imagine the deals?
Genius. That's genius. It is.
I mean, they obviously wouldn't make him the new Canes because there's a cane dog. Like, it's literally a dog named Cane. But like, you definitely could shoot some commercials with their lab.
For sure.
Like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
no-brainer.
Ryan also says lane training. If I have to jump off it, it'll be the Dilly fight.
Hey, I'm in on Dillingham. If it isn't Lane Kiffin, which I think it is, but Dillingham would be Summerall. Dillingham would be my next choices.
He also says the SC Shorts on Lane Kiffin is on point and hilarious. Yeah, I watched SC Shorts. I thought that I did think
they never miss, dude. They're hilarious. They're hilarious.
Jesse says his players, Lane's Ole Miss players, he has his players putting out statements about only being focused on this game and saying they stand by their coach and his decision. I don't know if that but I don't know if that's necessarily Lane pushing them to say that. That may be a little bit of them just trying to be focused on what's at hand, which is state. Yeah. He also says, get him off my sideline unless he can commit to being here. Yeah. We don't want to troll. Best season we've ever had. If he's trolling, he should be let go anyways.
That's where a lot of Ole Miss fans are.
That's where the Ole Miss, and I can't say that I wouldn't be there too if I was in their spot. So
kind of sick of it.
Yep. There was more offensive production with the wide receiver playing quarterback in the 2021 Texas Bowl than against Western Kentucky.
Golly, dog.
That is true.
That is true.
Randolph says Ole Miss is robbing themselves. I agree. Brandon Reese is in here. Appreciate Brandon being here. Ole Miss probably worried that Kiffin will probably try to take some of the big time players on that team to follow him to his next job. I mean, yeah, obviously. Yeah. I hope he brings over guys too.
Give me
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Brandon says because of all this drama, Kiffin will probably have no choice but to leave at this point. I think he's already made that decision.
Yep.
Ole Miss contracts have to go along with the laws of the state of Mississippi. Yep.
4 years only.
The big question is if Ole Miss somehow ends up in the SEC championship game, will they let Kiffin stick around for that? I doubt it. No,
I don't think so either. There's got to be a couple dominoes fall for that to happen anyways.
Yeah. Dad says standard practice is to cut off a coach if he's gone. It's just college football. He doesn't need access to anything moving forward. That's what they all think, and Ole Miss is following that mentality. I get it, but I see why they would do it. Yeah.
True. I mean,
Riley's name keeps coming up for the Florida job. That would be an interesting hire for them. I did see
Lincoln Riley to Florida.
I did see on X that somebody had heard some news on the Florida, and it was a verified person.
Word is that Lincoln Riley wants out of SC. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Noah's in here. He said, "What's up, boys?" Noah, it's okay.
Noah,
if you're late. Just
appreciate you being in here.
Go back. Dad says he is out on Kenny Dillingham and Eli Drinkwitz.
Oh, come on, man! I
get that. What's the next one? Who's the next one? If it's not Kiffin, who's your next choice? I want to hear that. I don't know if you've told us that yet or not.
I would be in on Summerall and Kenny D. I would definitely be on Summerall, Kenny D. So that would be my next
question. I don't know who my second choice would be. I mean, I probably would want Kenny Dillingham. I don't know. The drink, I understand the game this past Saturday was not viewed well in the eyes of the LSU fans. I don't know if
against top teams.
Yeah. You don't want another Brian Kelly. Let's see. Oh, here's a good Jesse. Kewan Lacey posted his quote with quotations around it and then deleted and reposted without the quotations. Trinidad 2 days ago, Lacey yesterday, Diego Pounds today. It's straight up propaganda.
Well, I think that's what Ole Miss. That's what a lot of Ole Miss folks are trying to do.
Chuck Lee. I think he meant Clark Lee, but yeah, I'd be down on Clark Lee for sure. I'd be down for him.
Clark Lee, I think, is on Florida's list as well. A lot of Ole Miss folks are doing like Boyce was out on some kind of show. The Chancellor Boyce that was in that meeting with Kiffin, and he was doing the whole thing like focus on the players, focus on this game, like all the motivational stuff. So it almost feels like the writing's on the wall a little bit. So, anyways, all right, Zach. LSU plays Oklahoma on Saturday at Oklahoma. Well, Your offense is not good at all, and Oklahoma's defense is really, 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 really good.
Yeah, you're screwed.
And it's at Norman.
You're done.
This might be a repeat of the 2011 national championship game where you never cross the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
in Jesse's words, cooked.
Absolutely cooked on Saturday. That's my prediction.
I do think the defense is going to keep it somewhat competitive.
As they always do.
Yeah. I think LSU will, let's just be honest. LSU, they're a 10.5 point underdog. I would put Oklahoma to cover that. I don't think Oklahoma's going to score a whole lot of points because their offense hasn't been great the past few weeks.
Right.
John Mateer's playing injured still a little bit.
Yep.
I'm going to think this is probably like a 23-3 ball game, something like that. 27-3 ball game. With Oklahoma winning big.
What's the over-under? Whatever it is, take the under.
Yeah, let's go look.
Take the under.
I imagine Vegas is pretty good on this. Let's see if I can find it.
If it is anything more than 32 points, you're taking the under.
Let me look real quick.
It's if it is anything over 30 points, 32 points, I'm gonna say 32. You're taking the under. Taking the under 100%.
38.5.
Under.
Yeah, LSU's not scoring.
No.
I don't think LSU gets to double digits.
No shot. Like if
I'd be surprised.
If Oklahoma scores 30 points, I still would take the under because I think LSU is going to score like 3.
Whit Wicks is not going to play. Garrett Nussmeier is probably not going to play. And I'll be honest, Reagan. I think for you even to have a shot at this game, you would need Garrett Nussmeier and Whit Wicks to play.
Yeah.
And I get so many people are out on Garrett Nussmeier, but he's just so much more. He's got so much more experience.
You got to throw the ball.
He's a better passer. He's a better passer. I get he doesn't have the mobility. He's a better passer. And yes, you had to at the point you were at, you had to try Michael Van Buren to see what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, it doesn't matter who's at the helm. This offense is bad. So you might as well get your best player out there. Which I don't know. Reagan, did they release a statement? Is he doubtful? Is he out?
Who?
Is Nuss out? Is he already listed as out?
Doubtful.
They
said they would see, but the thing is, you're not getting any more availability with Frank for the rest of the week because it's Thanksgiving. So you may not. I don't know. I don't think he plays.
I would be more confident, honestly, if Garrett's playing, just because of the experience. So yeah, but yeah, Oklahoma's going to win this game. You're not going to be good enough. You're just not going to be good enough offensively. So yeah, my prediction's like 23-3 Oklahoma. Yeah. Maybe you get lucky and somebody breaks one off.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's gonna be hard for LSU to get a first down. Like seriously, you're playing the best defensive line, best edge in the SEC.
In my opinion, Oklahoma Oklahoma fans should not worry about upset alert. You should not worry. You should win this game. Now, look, if LSU wins, wow, awesome job. I would be elated. Frank to be able to, make this, take this team to 3-1 as when he took over. 8-4. It feels a lot better than 7-5. 8-4, and then you go win a bowl game feels a lot. 9-4. 9-4 feels a lot better than 9-5.
8-5.
8-5. Yeah, sorry, not 9-4 feels a lot better than 8-5. So. Yeah,
I don't know.
I just don't think it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to be a hard game to watch. Hopefully, it's not.
I'm watching it. I'm definitely going to watch it. That's for sure. But
hopefully, it's not going to be as hard as a watch as Western Kentucky this past week. Holy cow! What a horrendous game.
Ryan, watch LSU score 27 points. That's not going to happen.
Dude, if we somehow score more than 25 points, I will die. Yeah, I'm going to say Oklahoma wins 27-6. We muster 2 field goals because the defense gets 2 turnovers in Oklahoma's territory. So.
We get a fumble and a pick. Ramos trots out there, but then we go 3 and out, and Ramos trots out there for a 40-something yard field goal.
That's correct. You will get a turnover, and you go, yes, something great. Oh, 3 and out.
Kicking a field goal.
Like every time. Yeah. Anyways.
Brandon, right. we need another offensive line coach.
I think so.
We were high on Brad Davis for a while there, Reagan.
I look, his recruiting has been amazing.
Yeah. His development
hasn't been there. Yeah. I definitely was high on him. I mean, he was pulling in 5. Holy cow, he pulled in. Weston Davis was a 5-star. Carius Kern was a 5-star. Solomon Thomas was a 5-star. Dude was recruiting out of his mind. Just obviously not developing them. So, what can you say?
Ryan says, it's time for a statement. It's time for a new coach. Let's go.
It's time. Kiffin time.
I sure we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, nothing guaranteed. We obviously think Kiffin is headed to LSU, but obviously nothing is done till he's standing at a podium. In the words of Anders Lee, he's standing at a podium in LSU gear. At least if we get Kiffin, we won't have to complain about not getting night games.
He won't have to complain.
That's correct. Probably part of the reason why he wants to come to LSU. Probably a pretty big reason why.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And again, Ole Miss, we love you, but we don't love you. But that's kind of one of the reasons. You want to know why Ole Miss gets snubbed? Because LSU in Death Valley at night is what everybody wants to see. Anyways, Hey, it's been a great show. Going to be a very interesting week. Man, just counting down the days. Everybody's on the watch. Is anything going to drop before the game?
Well, Reagan, hopefully on the next podcast, we are talking about LSU's new head coach.
We sure hope so. We sure hope so. We've talked about this.
If we're not, that's because that means you didn't land lane.
Yeah.
If we're not, it means you didn't land lane. Because I would think after the Egg Bowl and Saturday, Sunday rolls around, you'd be announcing Lane if it is indeed him.
Yeah. I think if it is him by Tuesday, he will already be in Baton Rouge. Yeah, if not sooner. So, all right, guys, it's going to be a very, very interesting couple of days. Hold on, enjoy the ride. Hopefully, this.
Hey, it'd be awesome. It'd be really awesome.
What's that?
What would be really awesome is on Saturday, LSU upsets Oklahoma, and they announce.
And I was like, Kiffin, hey, that would be a great day.
That would be a great Saturday.
And Alabama loses the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
After we've already named LSU Lane Kiffin our coach.
Yes.
After we've already named him.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Come on, Saturday. Man, you can only hope for the best.
I would just take Lane Kiffin because that's all I'm expecting.
Yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay with that. I'll be okay with just that.
We'll watch a misery of a game and go, we need you so desperately. Please come. Thank you for rescuing us.
Please.
All right. Hey, it's been a great show. And yes, Ryan,
happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
It is Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We are incredibly thankful for you guys. Sure. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate all your support, always being in here.
Follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
Yes. thankful for everybody in here, as always, and appreciate you guys. And man, hopefully we're discussing something we're going to be really grateful for in a couple days. So on the next show, hey, great show. We'll see you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. 5 Star here, take us out. Peace.
Who that 5 star?